Hello, in this lab of 180 from AWS reStart, I wish to demonstrate about this configuring an Amazon VPC. So let me quickly go through this lab contents, and also before I do explanation, I will start the lab. So here it will take about 3 to 4 minutes to get all the lab resources ready. So what all we are going to do is this lab will demonstrate how to, yes, the lab is getting started. Yeah. We will create a VPC, okay, that contains private and public subnet and also an internet gateway. That is the task. And also we will also create a route table associated with the public subnet and also internet bound traffic to be directed to through the IGW, that is internet gateway. And later we will also configure more route tables with the private subnet through the NAT gateway. We'll also launch a host, a Bastion host in a public subnet for a resource-based secure. Preferably, we will launch a Windows-based server on a private subnet. Evaluate the operation of the private subnet ability to communicate with the internet. We'll also do that. So this is the task which we need to do. Yeah, the lab is ready. Let us start accessing this lab. So the first task is to access this create a VPC. So I'm just clicking this AWS. It should open a new tab. Okay. So here in this tab, you can open maybe a couple of things. Like I'll also duplicate this one. So this one I will use for EC2, and the other one I'll use for VPC. Okay, so most of our time we'll be using this VPC. So here as of now you see this EC2 instance. There is yeah, even in the VPC dashboard you have one default VPC and the subnets. There are 4 subnets, a route table and an internet gateway. I'll just show you. This is a default VPC which is available. Right, this is the tenancies default. And also just explore the subnets. These are the 4 availability zones in this particular corridor network. You can see this, so these are all the 4 subnets in this. So okay, so even here there is no instances which are available. Okay, let us start the task 1. So here in this task 1 on the services, click VPC. Is in the navigation your VPCs we have already navigated. So the VPC which we want to create will be in this particular range, this 10.0.0/16. So we will create a VPC with this CADR block and also the 10 lab VPC. So yeah, you see the subnets, your VPCs. There is no VPC, create a VPC. So my VPC and subnets. You can create both, but here let us create one by one. So the next task is subnets, creating subnets. So here I will say it's VPC only. The name tag is lab VPC. Maybe the tenancy is no, yeah. The IPv CADR is classless interdomain routing. Okay. So just select this particular one, no IPv6. Yeah, you can say click create the VPC. Tenancy leave it default. If you want, you can add tags and just say create VPC. The task 1 is created. You can see your VPC also, that is a lab VPC is created, available. And with this CADR, you can have 10 power 16 number of hosts. Okay. Now click your subnets. Let us go with the creation of the second task. You see this one here, we are going to create a couple of subnets. So we will choose the VPC. The first subnet which we are going to create is the public subnet. Okay. So create a subnet and select your VPC ID, that is lab VPC, and subnet name you can give public subnet. Okay, subnet name is public subnet, and yeah, availability zone, select the first availability zone. I'm going to select the first availability zone, that is 2A. Okay, and this CADR block, please remember, this is 10.0.0/24. That you will get about 256 hosts here. This should be accurate, right? And the key name, if you want, you can give. This is done. Yeah, the VPC is under so and so. 10.0.0/16. So it is /24. The VPC is /16. Subnet 1 is /24. So yeah, scroll down. This is done. So let's create a subnet. The first subnet is created. You see this one, public subnet, which is a part of your VPC, which is done. Okay, just let us understand about the public subnet settings. This is our public subnet settings. What we need to do here is just edit this public subnet and enable this auto assign public IPv4. So here I selected enable this auto edit subnet settings and just say enable auto assign. So this gets your public IPs from the internet. Okay, so this part is the subnet is created. Create a private subnet. We are going to create another subnet. Okay, that is under lab VPC. That is a private subnet, and that is 20/23. We are going to create. So just the VPC ID, lab VPC. Scroll down. The subnet name is maybe private subnet, and availability zone. You can give this the first select the first availability zone in the list. Okay. So here I give 2A and CIDR block. Please remember this has to be very much in sync. We are not supposed to change any values here, and this has about 512 IPs which you get it across. /23 is the CIDR, and the keys can be your, if you want you can give, and then just say create the subnet. So we have one public subnet and the other private subnet which has been created. You can see here, right? So along with your private subnet and your public subnet. See this one, public and private. Two things has been. This completes our task 2. Now let us create an internet gateway. Okay, that is task 3. So internet gateway will communicate to the internet from your VPC. And once you create this internet gateway, we will also attach to our VPC. So here, just select internet gateway and create. This is the default one. Okay, create an internet gateway. The name tag is lab IGW. Okay, just create this internet gateway. Right, go to internet gateway. You should see your internet gateway which is detached, and you attach this one to your lab VPC. Yeah, attach this internet gateway. So this is how we create our internet gateway. Yeah, this is done. Attachment is done. This is task 3 is done. Now let us configure your route tables. So yeah, we will first create a public route table for the internet bound traffic. So here in the left hand side, just click this route table, and then we will also create a route table. Create a route table that shows lab VPC and VPC column. Okay, and in the name column, you will say, yeah, go to route table. Yeah, you see this route. So this is your lab VPC. Select that. Maybe you can give a name to this route table for you to understand. Okay, click the name and give this particular one, private route table, and say click save. Right, so there will be no confusion. Let's say save. Ensure that it is the same one, that is your lab VPC. Yeah, this is done. The other one is the default route, which is connected to the other VPC default route, default VPC. This is done. Click the routes tab to the lower half of the page. Yeah, here you click here. Maybe you can scroll up and see there is already a route which is defined. Now we need to edit this route table. Okay, route tab. You see 10.0.0/16 is available destination. So now create a route table and configure. Right, create a route table. We are going to create one more route, that is public route, and attach to lab VPC. Okay. So this is my lab VPC. Scroll down, the rest all things are same. Create a route table. So yeah, when you click this route table, you have public and private route table. Yeah, and in there now select this public route table and edit routes. So here public route table, and you say routes, you can edit routes. Public route table needs to be attached to the internet gateway, that we are going to do now. So here you see this, you will now attach to the direct internet bound traffic to this internet gateway. So what I do, add a route, I'll say 0000 all to the internet gateway. This is one which is added, and say save changes. Okay. Okay, so yeah, we did this, and now let us click this subnet associations tab and edit this. Select the row to public subnet. Yeah, this is now your route table, public route table, and now you should please select the subnet associations, and you see edit the subnet associations, and just say public subnet. See this one. Select this public subnet and save your association. This is done, this task is done, public route table. Now it is associated. So now it should look a route table entry via the internet gateway. You can see this one, the destination is local and internet gateway 000. You see this public route table, the routes, there are two routes here. This is one and the other one is through the internet gateway table. Right. So yeah, now you can, to summarize, yes, we have done an internet gateway, created a route table and also a route which is there. So now this is task 5. Launch a bastion server in the public subnet. So what we do, a server in the public subnet. So here go to EC2 and launch this Amazon Linux 2. Okay, select a T3 micro with a lab VPC. Create an instance in lab VPC. So here I will just opt out for old experience. Okay, choose the AMI. You can choose Amazon Linux 2, right? And choose. So here the server is already running with the following IP details. Okay, you can copy and you can log in into the server. You can log into the server. So let us also, there is no need to wait for the instance to be running. So I can also download the following details, the PPK files which is available. Download your PPK. So this is your public IP address. Okay, and also my putty. Let's say putty download. Right. This is putty. Yeah, it is downloaded. I just run this putty. Run with this public IP connection. 30 seconds. 30 minutes. Sorry, 30 minutes. SSH. Auth. Browse. This is your lab user PPK. Just open. Yeah. EC2 hyphen user. So this is how you can connect your Bastion server. Now the next task, create an NAT gateway. So we are going to create an NAT gateway on, go to VPC. Okay, so again I go back to VPC services, and in the navigation pane click your VPC gateway. So here NAT gateways, I click this NAT gateway and create a NAT gateway, and say public subnet, allocate elastic IP, create a NAT gateway. So I can give optional name as name as a subnet as public subnet, and also connectivity type is, let's say, click elastic IP, allocate elastic IP. you can see this, there is an elastic IP allocated EP. Right. This is a public. Scroll down and create the NAT gateway. Yeah, the gateway is created. Now select this private. See, in order to get communicated from your private network through the public, I mean through to the internet, we have to have this NAT gateway, right? So we have created a NAT gateway, and now what we can say, go to routes, route table, select your private route table. So here when you see this route, you see this is 10.0.0.16 is there. We need to edit these routes and add a route. Edit this route, add a route. I'll say all can be connected using this NAT gateway. Select the NAT gateway like this we did for yeah, NAT gateway. This is the NAT gateway which we have created, and say save changes. Save changes. Yes, this is done. So the NAT is done. So now let us log in. Let us have this optional created instance. We can create an instance and then we can connect even through the Windows. Any we can create an instance in private subnet and confirm that it can communicate with the internet. Right. So what we do for this particular one, launch an instance. You click EC2 launch instance. This is an optional one, but still we will do. Okay. So here I create a launch instance, right? I select this Amazon Linux and T3 Micro. Yeah, T3 dot micro. Remember, please do only in the Vocarum lab, Vocarum. Right. So here select this network as VPC and also here as private subnet. These are the instructions. Please watch this one, and not the public subnet. So now paste the script, this particular one. So that what happens is that, so this is a turn on password authentication for lab challenge. So this lab password will be it will be I mean used actually from SSHD config, and then this will start the service. So I'll just configure this particular one. Otherwise we need to have a gateway services also, or maybe a kind of agent forwarding, and then we can go ahead. So just add storage. This is your private instance. Add storage. Yeah. Add tags. You can say name and a value of private instance, and say configure your security. So ensure 22 is open. Leave all these things and say use the same key. Yeah. Review and launch. Yeah, this is the review screen, and say launch. Select this work key and say launch instance. Yeah, you can see this instance dashboard. The instance should be running, and you also ensure that this doesn't have public IP now. We have only a private IP 10.0.0.3.49. So how to log in? We already have an instance. From here you can log into this server. Okay, so log in into the Bastion server. Yes, we did that. And how you can connect from the Bastion server? You can copy the IPv4 IP, and the following instruction should may be able to connect you. This is your private IP, right? 10.3.49. So what you do is 10.3.49. You can SSH and you say the private IP. SSH. When you say LL dot SSH should have the keys. Here you see this one, authorized keys. So these are the work key which is there already. So now what I do, SSH EC2 hyphen user at the rate of, maybe let me say, okay, yeah, yes, okay, EC2 hyphen password. We set the password also. So the password is, when prompted, you can give this lab hyphen password. Lab hyphen password. Yeah, I'm able to log in. This is 10.03.49. This is the private instance. Okay, you can also test the NAT gateway. You can say maybe ping www.google.com. It should work. It should work. It is communicating to the internet also. Hence, we can say your NAT gateway is also functioning. And you can see this one. So this is the end of our lab. Lab complete. Congratulations, you have completed the lab. So once the resources lab is complete, you can just say end lab to terminate all the resources. And thank you everyone, and bye.